Well, hi guys, Lance here from the Rocky Mountain Life channel. And if the bike sounds different, there's a reason for it. I'm out here riding Super Dave's 2023 Beta 300RR Race Edition. It's a little sputtery. He's talked about today about wanting to readjust the rest of jetting a little bit, needle. I don't understand that stuff. But he does, and he says he's gonna mess with it, smooth it out a little bit. He also runs it a little bit on the rich side. I guess that's the word for 2 strokes, where he's running it with a healthy amount of oil, I think. That's so he can says that's the way he likes it, help keep everything lubed. So this is going to be a better test ride than what I did on the beta demo days. This bike has got the Forest Service FMF pipe on it for the spark arrestor, so it is a little bit louder than the stock version, but not much. It's also got the race suspension, KYB everywhere, not the sacks. It's definitely stiffer than my bike. Sand. Never liked sand. Oh boy, this thing is light. I just came off the 500. Come out here and try this one. No engine braking though. That's definitely something I'd have to get used to. But he's also got bar risers on here. I think it's an inch and an eighth lift. I really like that. The seating position here, he's got a seat concept seat on it as well. Seating position is really comfortable for me, and the standing position is better for me because it's got the bar risers on it. Felt like I got off trail, but I guess it's just a parallel one that somebody built. So the biggest thing I notice with these, is how light it is, and the fact that there's no engine braking. The gearing is also shorter than mine, which is good for this sort of trail riding. Yeah, let's go this way. Oh, yeah, stiffer suspension. Pull's pretty good though. These 300 2-strokes are great. Fourth gear through here. Would never do 4th gear on my bike. It's geared too tall for that. Yeah, this thing pulls great. And the suspension, for being harsher, is still not too bad. This bike is barely broke in. I kind of got the impression on the demo days that I liked the race suspension, the stiffer suspension. I mean, it's a little firmer, but the whole chassis in general feels pretty good because of it. It's very easy to ride though. I really love these risers. It was funny when I was a kid growing up and was interested in motocross. It was always 2-strokes. And then the 4-strokes started coming in. And they've, in some ways, fallen out of favor. They're not nearly as popular as they used to be. Honda used to make them, you know, the CRs, Kawasaki's, Yamaha YZs used to be 2-strokes. They don't make any of those anymore. They only make the 2-strokes in their little 65s and 85 cc's. KTM and Husqvarna, whoa, are the ones that kind of kept it alive along with Beta, having 2-strokes. Throttle response on these so snappy and instant, but I really feel like I'm moving through this trail faster than I would on my own bike, just because it's so light. It just and it tracks straight. It just wants to go straight, and even though it's responsive and snappy, it's not this horrible jerk your arms off, loop the bike over onto you. So I don't know, as a guy who doesn't really understand suspensions, this is harsher than mine, not as soft, not as plush, but it doesn't mean it's bad. In some ways I almost feel more stable. The difference between a regular RR 2-stroke and these race editions, for the cost difference, is a little bit of bling. It's got wider, better foot pegs on this, but the RR ones are not bad. I've got the stock RRS ones on my bike. They're good. There's really nothing wrong with them. Personal preference maybe if you wanted them a little wider, whatever, but they grip good. I've never had any trouble finding them. Never had any issues with my foot slipping off or anything like that. So you get some bling on these, different graphics. Personally, I don't like the blue and red graphics quite as much as the solid red. I think the RRs look better in my opinion, but that's just, you know, personal taste. But the only other major difference between them is the way the engine's tuned. I think it's tuned slightly more snappier on this one, but I also could be wrong. And then it's the suspension. And the longer I ride this, the more I think I kind of like this stiffer suspension. Yeah, it doesn't pull as hard as my 500, but it pulls pretty good. Hard to find much wrong with it. Now you got me wanting one. It's a little harsh compared to that with the stiffer springs. It's not trying to rattle my teeth out or anything like that. I can just tell that it's more rigid than this one. A little bit of vibration. A lot of people complain about the vibration in these things, but dirt bikes have vibrated my whole life. It's just part of it. But I don't think it's bad. I mean, people say they're not as smooth as the KTMs, but But I mean, gosh, if you're going to ride this double track stuff like we did earlier today and that single track, I'm having a hard time thinking you could find a better machine. Unless you're short and then get a cross trainer. But for somebody my height, I think this is the winner chicken dinner. I used to think I didn't need the race suspension, but the longer I ride it, the more I kind of like it. All right, guys, who wants to buy me a Beta? A second one. I'd like to see if I could get Beta to send me a freebie. Some of these big YouTube channels get free bikes to test and stuff and do reviews on. I am not big. So I don't pretend to have the kind of audience that they would want for utilizing me as an advertising platform, but man, that'd be cool. Get one of these for a year or 6 weeks or whatever, just to ride, put through its paces, ride it like it's my own, keep it for a while, multiple rides, and really get a feel for it. Yeah, I think I want one, guys. I'd have to learn about carburetors and jetting them for altitude and things. Be a learning curve, of course, involved. The race editions don't have the oil injection system like the regular RRs and the cross trainers have. The regular RRs and the cross trainers, you just put regular unleaded fuel in the gas tank, and then you got another oil reservoir where you put your two-stroke oil, and it mixes it for you. I love the idea, but it is one more thing on the bike that can fail, and if your oil injector fails, you're in trouble. so I know a lot of people actually will take them off if they buy the regular RR. Oh. Yeah, such a good bike, such a good motor. Even if it is running just slightly bit sputtery. But I think it's easier for me to ride faster on it. It's easier to turn, easier to flick around, easier to maneuver. Good bike. So is that 500 up there in front of me that you can see. But I really like this two-stroke a lot. I like how light it is. Well, thanks for coming along on this extended test ride of the 2023 Beta 300RR Race Edition with the full KYB suspension. It was super fun. I will catch you guys next time.